So, we're going to go over a topic that's been on the top of a lot of people's minds recently, especially because Facebook, every time, at least twice a year, goes through a lot of ad disapprovals, ad account disapprovals, or even banning ad accounts. So, we're going to go over compliance in this training video. I'm going to show you some resources, some of the things that we're doing, some insights that we've seen from disapproved ads, how to win appeals, even if you get disapproved on multiple appeals, and some best practices as well from Jason's content and other people who've gotten disapprovals, and how can we learn from their mistakes. So the first thing is, if you're not familiar with the ads policy, this needs to be your best friend, especially if you're having a lot of disapprovals or you have questions with policy in general. Specifically, you want to be on the prohibited content section. Here, there's the most common disapprovals that people get are either discriminatory practices, sensational content, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Facebook is actually labeling a lot of direct response as low quality ads. Personal attributes. This is huge if you are in healthcare, if you're advertising health products, medical products, or financial products, like if you're helping people get out of bankruptcy, sell their home, skincare product, or even a weight loss product. A lot of, depending on how your copy is formatted and worded, you want to make sure you move away from using the words you, your, lose, unwanted, fat, like things that would make people feel bad about themselves. You can't point it out directly to their face, is essentially what this means here. From my experience here, as well as from a lot of disapprovals that we've gone through for that. Specifically going down to personal health, same thing with before and image. I'm seeing a lot of people send in videos of products that help people either whiten their teeth or fix their skin or lose fat. And in that video, you'll see a transformation process. Just because you don't have a video or a photo that says before and after doesn't mean that video itself is not a before and after image or video. Anytime you show a transformation from A to B, regardless if it's a still image or a video, Facebook is going to crack you down, and it can even disapprove the entire ad account with one bad ad. Another issue or most common disapprovals we're seeing is multi-level marketing or business opportunities. So this is a lot for the direct response of BizOp, how to make money online, how to work from home in your spare time. You want to move away from that cliche marketing, like how I made, $100,000 in 1 week from doing nothing. Essentially, you want to move away from setting specific income goals or income claims with specific time frames with literal no work involved. And we're seeing there's a lot of ways to reword that, but the majority, if you have any type of income claim, Facebook bots are particularly looking out for wordings like 7-figure business, 7-figure clients, 8-figure funnels. Stuff like that is being overused and oversaturated in the market, and Facebook is cracking down and labeling this a lot for low quality content, and we'll go into that in just a second. And so this means your landing page is low quality, your ad copy is low quality, and they're dubbing low quality as old school direct response. So if you have long form copy that's story based and it's a little bit not compliant, Facebook is actually hitting that a lot harder, as opposed to if you had a story based video of direct response with short form copy. So that's an insight that we found out in terms of comparing the two approval rates for both of the type of assets or creatives that we're running. So talking a little bit more about reducing low quality. So Facebook is on the hunt essentially to increase their customer experience and reducing a lot of the engagement bait, a lot of ads that don't have full disclaimers or full disclosures. For example, if you're having a direct to webinar funnel and on the webinar landing page or on the ad itself, you don't tell people what they're going to get on the actual webinar and that there's going to be a pitch, Facebook will disapprove your ad because you're not telling the person the full extent of what they're getting themselves into. They could see that as a bait and switch, that we're going to send you a training, but we're also going to sell you a $2,000 product. Sensational language. This is a lot, goes back again to direct response. For example, the example they use here is 7 mind-blowing uses of carrots. Are carrots the new superfood? So you want to structure your big ideas and your positioning to get away from sensational language. You can still say things that allude to this, to carrots being the new superfood, but you can't say it directly and plainly now. The trick or the art to compliance is, how do you say non-compliant things compliantly, right? So how can you state something that's non-compliant in a compliant way? Those are the question to ask, and we can definitely help you out with that, especially Sean with the angles. We can switch up anything that you have that you're selling to sell it compliantly, but still have that direct response copy or that copy that gets people to buy, essentially. So I'm going to show you now 2 resources. I'll tag this on the actual post below this video. However, I want you to review these, and I'm going to also show you some resources that I've picked up, resources from Jason, and also how we appeal ads and win them, even though after we get disapprovals constantly on similar appeals. So the first resource is, since Facebook has a lot of gray areas, you never really know what that gray area is until you get disapproved. So this gentleman, Mike, posted on the Facebook ad buyers group. It's a free group you can go in, and he mentioned that he's spending a ton of money, millions a month on Facebook, and they got ads that were running over a year ago disapproved and banned. So he goes over the specific things of the ads policy that they don't tell you in ads policy, and from his disapproval experience. For example, if you have claims in your ads and they're not supported by any source, any fact, any disclaimer, any footnote on the landing page, then you're going to get banned because you're selling people false information. Even if it's true information, people have opinions, or people don't know who's telling the truth online anymore. So you need to make sure that the customer experience is great, and that's what Facebook really cares about. False sense of urgency. If you have webinar countdown timers, I highly suggest that you have real urgency, meaning if people don't buy within 3 days' time, if that's what you're pitching and you're selling, you redirect them to the correct order form after the countdown's over. Because a lot of marketers just put that ClickFunnels countdown timer, they never redirect anyone, it never works properly, it just has the 000 and it still has the same pricing. Facebook's going to ban you for that, especially if you have a lot of urgency that feels like it's fake or it's artificial. We talked about this earlier. You don't want to say you directly speaking to someone, like you have bad credit, or are you fat, or do you have back problems and stuff like that. It's a simple rule, but the less you can use the word you, the better. That's just a simple rule of thumb. You can still use you a lot in the ad copy, but a good practice would be, am I using you too much? Is that why my ads are getting disapproved? I can let you read the rest for this specific post. I'll send this over to you. Another good resource is Jason's landing page resource, a checklist essentially. And I'm going to go over that checklist real quick with you. I'll send this resource to you as well. You can look it up at jasonhorningagency.com/7-mistakes. So for your landing page, a lot of people don't pay attention a lot to the landing page either. You may have before and after images in the product catalog, in the product images. You might have disclaimers that are missing, broken links. Everything needs to flow perfectly on this landing page, especially the branding, the navigation bar, the links, the privacy policy. So I'll go over that with you right over here. So you need to make sure that the page is legit and that it's branded. Facebook does not want fly-by-night businesses. They don't want people going to shady websites with pop-ups. If your landing page has a pop-up, I would remove that immediately. If your landing page has a video image, like if you click a button to watch a video but nothing actually works, remove that video button immediately to make sure that you know what that actually means. It's let's say you have an image. Let's say this is an image with a video, and the video doesn't play. It's just a fake button to have you opt in. So if this was a fake button and when I clicked it, an opt-in box came in, that would get disapproved. Facebook does not want fake buttons or buttons that don't have any use on the landing page just to get people to opt in for a lead magnet. Okay, your landing page has to be super clear to the user what they're getting and how to get it. You can see here, Jason has a green button and an arrow pointing to this is where you can get the free checklist. This is a legitimate opt-in button. Up here, if this image itself had a play button, then that would be disapproved. Okay. You got to make sure that your website landing page also has compliant language, going back to the advertising policies. You can't use spam trigger words. You can't, again, if you're using the word you on the landing page, highly not recommend that. You can't use income claims, none of that. And also, you can't do that on a Messenger inbox message. So if you're sending people to Messenger, that initial message needs to be compliant. If it's not compliant, you're going to get the ad disapproved because Facebook reads the first message that you send through. The second or third message, you can send non-compliant things or a PDF, but you got to make sure the first message, the first touch after leaving Facebook or taking a step outside of Facebook, needs to be compliant. You're going to make sure your pixels are set up correctly. Another thing is going to make sure that your website isn't banned by Web of Trust. So Web of Trust ranks websites depending on the spam filter. If you're using a low quality website, like for example, if you're using a ClickFunnels domain, ClickFunnels probably, I know Lead Pages for sure is scanned a lot for spam. So if you're using a myfunnel.lp page or leadpages.com, you got to get your own domain. You got to set up everything with a pretty URL. You can't put that on a different server, even if it is ClickFunnels. I've seen a lot of clients use ClickFunnels. It works. You can get approvals, but it's not the best practice. And we want to make sure that you follow best practices. These do's and don'ts are directly from Facebook's training on Blueprint. If you want to go over compliance training, you can head over to Facebook Blueprint, and they have up-to-date training from Facebook themselves on the do's and don'ts. So the don'ts on your landing page don't have low quality content. Again, spam trigger words, like spammy direct response, or difficult to access content. Has to make the user experience super fluid, super simple. You have to use original content. You can't embed like a ton of ads on the side, or use third parties that are domains that aren't yours specifically. You can't bait people with sexual ad copy, sexual images. It's simple stuff that we already know, but this is really key because some people miss these things. Another thing is that you do want to be upfront. Make sure everything's clear and easy to navigate. Even if you want to get out of the landing page, you got to make sure that people can actually exit the landing page, and make sure that your footer has a disclaimer, has your contact us, your privacy policy, and your terms of condition. And these pages redirect to the correct destination URL. A lot of people have this broken, or it sends them to a faulty page, and you're going to get disapproved. Yeah, it's pretty much the best practices. Now I'm going to show you how to appeal an ad properly, as well as how to follow up and get that appeal won, essentially. So let's go to the support inbox. Here is a recent appeal for that. We're filming this in late November. So this particular client is getting has a lot of sensational copy for make money online, how to grow your online business and such. And they're getting tagged a lot for MLM, quick rich schemes, as well as housing opportunities, which is strange, but it happens. So essentially, I pretty much told them this is not a make money online, what the client is actually selling and who they're selling it for, and the call to action: please review this ad and approve it. And then I send them a case number. You can see the case numbers are up here. A case number of another ad that is similar to this ad that has been approved. Using this case number, I've seen approval rates go up significantly. So if you have another ad that has been disapproved, and then you appealed it and it was approved and you won that appeal, save those case numbers so you can use those for other ads of the similar nature. Now, the issue here is I got a message back. This is probably a bot, not a human, telling me that this particular ad is a housing or employment credit opportunities. When Facebook asks you this, they'll typically have an ads manager, a box disclaiming or having you opt in saying, I am not a housing or employer or have credit opportunities. You have to make sure you click that you are not. There's a yes or no button. So this is an error on their end, but it's also a bot that comes up a lot. A lot of people would just stop here and not reappeal. And I told them, this is not an employment ad. We verified this, please check. And then they went ahead and approved the ad for us. So there is a lot of follow-up that takes place when it comes to ads. If you have someone in your team to do this specifically for you, that would be a huge help, because if you're running hundreds of ads and you get a lot of disapprovals, one, your ad account might get shut down, so don't do that. And two, you want to make sure you have a good appeal process to this. I usually would have a copy-paste template depending on the decision that they're banning our ads for, and make sure you save your case numbers and make sure you follow up. This is going to be under facebook.com/support. Okay, so you have a support inbox for any appeal that you've ever done for Facebook. Everything that's in here, you want to make sure you follow up. Even if it's been like 5 follow-ups, these are automated computer programs. You'll get a human, you'll get someone to approve your ad, and you can move forward and continue to make profits with your ads. If you have any questions in your particular case, I know I can't cover every specific scenario in this training. Please send your ad, your disapproval message, how many times you followed up. Like, I would rather speak to someone if you have followed up and got continual disapprovals, and instead of it's just a one-time disapproval, you got to make sure you follow up, make sure you appeal, and we can see what we can do to change your angles, see what's happening in your videos, or see if your landing page is non-compliant.
All right, hey, if your business is doing $20,000 to $50,000 per month, and you're kind of like stuck in this little spot there. You're running most of the things by yourself. You're doing pretty well, but you don't really have like a team built, and you want to start scaling, and you know that paid traffic is going to allow you to do that, but you're just kind of not sure how to get that whole thing working, and how do you manage all of this along with everything that's on your plate. If that's you, then I've got something for you right now. What we've done is we put a program together that I call the Directive, and it's geared just for people like you that are in your spot right now. It's meant to help you get over that hump and be able to put the processes and systems in place that not only extend across to your paid advertising, but also into the back end of your business, so that you can scale up your business to the six-figure mark per month and beyond. That's exactly what this is designed for. And we've got a private group here that we've limited to 30 select entrepreneurs that are in that space right now, where you're doing at least $20,000 per month, and you want to start putting systems and people in place and start growing and scaling in a time leveraged manner using paid traffic and get to that six-figure per month mark. We're able to help our customers rapidly get to that mark inside of this program that we call the Directive. Now, like I said, it's limited to just 30 entrepreneurs that fit this criteria. And even though you may have these base criteria here, we still may not be a good fit. So if you're in that spot and you would like to work with me and my team in a one-to-one manner on your ads, your offers, and your funnels, along with the back end of your business, so that we can get you in that spot where we can take you from where you are now to six figures plus per month, then go ahead and click the link that we're going to put in the comments below this video, and it's going to take you out to a page where you can apply to talk with one of us on the team. You may talk to me, and you may end up talking to one of my other team members, who is one of our qualified trainers, also an agency owner, very good friend of mine. We will only work with the best people. You may talk to me or one of those trainers, and we'll talk about your business and see if this is a good fit for you or not. We'll answer all your questions, make it real simple. Like I said, only if you meet that criteria. You got to be doing at least $20,000 per month, and you want to start putting systems and stuff in place so that you can leverage paid traffic and get to six figures per month. All right? So if you meet that criteria and you want to talk further, see if the Directive is a good fit for you, fill out the form below. We'll get on the phone, talk with you, see if it's a good fit. If it is, we can talk about what it would look like to move forward so that we can help you more one-to-one, get to where you want to be. To the victor belong the spoils. This is Jason Hornung.